Good morning, yogis. Our practice for this half-hour class will be one focused on our quadriceps, stretching those quads. We tend to have strong quads if we do any kind of exercise at all or just stand up and walk around. Our quads have to be strong. Particularly if you work out in the gym, focusing on quads, if you cycle, if you run, if you hike, tight quads. So we're going to focus on stretching the quads, that group of 4 muscles between your femur bone and your patella. So just come into hero pose if that is comfortable for you. I'm not going to actually put my bum between my heels. I don't have a block handy, so I'm just going to sit on my heels, press the tops of my feet firmly into the floor, feel my quads start to lengthen. If a hero pose is not a comfortable seated pose for you, by all means come into cross-legged easy pose. Quieting, breathing. Just stay with your breath here. Very breath focused, very breath aware. Breathing in and out your nose. Push the tops of your feet down firmly if you are in hero pose. Wherever you are, keep lengthening your spine, lengthening your breath. About 3 or 4 more breaths, just a shorter quieting time in the beginning with our half-hour class. Grateful to have any time together. One more breath. And then slowly, you're going to bring the left leg long in front of you. Try to keep that right leg bent into a half hero. Press the top of your foot down firmly, and then walk your hands behind you. Now this can be done from another position if this is bothering your knee or anywhere in this right leg. Some of you might come all the way down to your forearms. Just feel your quads slowly stretching. If it's too much here, come back up. Some of you may recline all the way down into Supta Virasana, hero pose. But we don't want that inner thigh or inner knee to lift up. We don't want our right bum to lift up. So be in a place where you feel stretched but not constrained. 2 more breaths here. And then walk yourself up. Slowly straighten out the right leg. And right onto the other side. Left leg bends, the left heel in toward your left hip. This side is a little more precarious for me with the knee on this side, so I might not recline at all. I might stay up. Breathe. You'll feel that quadriceps stretching those 4 muscles in there. We tend in our yoga to have a lot of poses in our toolbox to stretch the opposing muscles to the quads, the hamstrings. Every time you do a down dog or a forward bend from standing or your legs extended, you're stretching the hamstrings at the expense of the quads. So we're going to give the quads some attention in this practice. Maybe you do recline just a little bit, maybe not. Focus on your breath. And slowly straighten out that leg. We're going to take a bend in your knees, roll down to your back for some quad strengthening and also some glute strengthening as we lift up into some bridge pose. If you have a block, it's a great idea to squeeze the block between your thighs here, encouraging those quads to rotate inward a little bit. Take about 3 more breaths there. One more breath. Really active glutes and quads. Feel in front of your body stretch. Always many other benefits too. Slowly lower down. Roll over to your side. Coming into tabletop, and not to ignore our hamstrings, right up into downward facing dog. Knees lift up, press the floor away from you. Heels toward the floor. Take about 3 breaths in downward facing dog. One more breath. Looking between your thumbs, pick up your right foot. Bring that foot all the way between your hands. Drop your left knee down back behind your hip. With your fingertips on the floor, pull yourself forward. We're going to take our focus to our left hip flexor and quad. Those things work in together. They're connected together. Shoulders back, chest forward. Take about 3 more breaths here. Twisting from here, left hand plants. On your exhale, arm turns your upper body over toward your right. Breathe into the low lunge twist. Inhaling and exhaling. On your next exhale, bring your right hand to your right thigh. The left hand is going to push off the floor, both hands press into the thigh to bring you upright. Walk your right heel back so it stays right under your knee. Take a bend in the left leg. We're going to, well, the leg is bent. Bring the heel in toward the hip. See if you can find the top of your foot or ankle. Pressing back. It's a balancing pose here for me. And then bring that heel in toward your hip. This is called King Arthur's pose. To get even deeper into King Arthur's pose, since I do have a wall here, what you can do is go to that wall, place the top of your foot and the shin there, and then bring yourself upright. Oh boy, that gets really intense. I don't really have myself lined up here because without the mat that hurts my knee, but it's a possibility to take it deeper. Let's take about 3 more breaths in King Arthur, wherever you are. Release the top of your left foot back down. Breathe in, arms lift up. As you exhale, float yourself down, picking up your left knee, tuck the left toes under. A few breaths here in low runner's lunge. And slowly making your way upright to high crescent. As you come up, you're going to get high up on your left toes. And as you exhale, pressing that left heel down. Engage your abdominals. Breathe. Feel that stretching in your left quad. Let's take about 2 or 3 more breaths here. Up high on the left toes. Exhale, press that heel down once more. And 1 more really intense breath. Upper body goes back. Exhale, hands to hips. You're going to step your left foot forward to meet your right, grounding into that right leg, right into dancer pose. Slowly bending the left leg on the top of your ankle or foot, or use a strap. Maybe the right arm lifts up. If you have a strap, maybe you're using that strap. Keep pressing your left knee back, stretching your quadriceps while you balance. Breathe. You can hinge forward here, you can stay upright here. Any form of your dance that you want to play, that you want to do. Just focus on breath. Find a spot to help you concentrate and stay as still as you can in your balance. With an exhale, release your left foot down. Your left arm comes up. As you exhale, hinge and fold it forward. Inhale, coming halfway up. Exhale, fold it down. Bend your knees. Right leg steps back. Left leg meets it in plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower down. You can drop your knees first if you want. And then on your inhale, we're coming right up into locust pose. Lift up your chest. Reach toward the back wall and take some quadriceps strength to lift the legs up and some stretching as you press your big toes toward the back wall. A few more breaths here in locust. Two more breaths. Slowly lower down, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Back to focus on the hamstrings now. Heels press down as your hips lift up. Two more breaths. Next, inhale, left leg. Loose to three-legged dog. Bend the knee. Bring that foot all the way forward as you drop your right knee down. We're going to focus on the right quad now. Fingertips on the floor. Pull yourself forward. Breath aware. Quadricep aware. Stretch that quadricep. And then leaving your right hand planted on your exhale, twist to the left. Taking that low lunge twist. Adjusting, finding your strength, your flexibility. Two more breaths. With your exhale, the left hand comes to your left thigh to start pressing yourself back up. Right hand meets it, bringing your torso upright. Walk your left heel back a little bit. Engage abdominals, sit up tall. Preparing for King Arthur. And if it's too intense to bring your right heel in towards your buttock, if it hurts your knee, you can always put a cushion under. It's not unusual to get cramps here. So just adjust. Find the intensity right for you. This is intense for me on many levels. My knee, my quad, I'm just trying to cramp in the back of my thigh. Engage abdominals, you're tall here, strongly pressing into that right, into the left foot, that is, to keep you more balanced. Two more breaths. As I fall out of it, you can gently drop your right foot down. Bring your hands to the floor. Lift up that right knee now. Press to the heel. Make sure your left heel stays under your knee. One more breath, preparing to come up to a high crescent lunge. So as you're ready to start to engage abdominals to help you lift up, finding your balance. I don't have much of that today. A few moments in your high lunge. Lift up high on your left toes. And then press that heel down to get a little more intently into your right quadriceps. Breathe. Two more breaths. As we exhale, hands to hips, you're going to start straightening the right legs, left leg, stepping your right foot forward, and preparing for dancer on this side. A little different adjustment there. Right leg of mine still a little bothersome. Bring yourself into dancer. Find your dance. Lengthen the left side, press your right ankle into your hand. Just take the knee behind you a little further until you find the intensity that's good. And find your point of concentration. Breathe, balance, stretch, strengthening on that left leg and ankle. So much happening here. Releasing your right foot down as your right arm reaches upward. Breathe in, reach a little taller. Exhale, hinge and fold it forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold it down. Step your left foot back. Right foot meets it in plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale into locust. Any version that you like. Just lift your legs up as high as you can. Push through your big toes to stretch your quadriceps. Two more breaths. Lift everything up a little higher as you inhale, and exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. Stretch the opposing muscles, the hamstrings, as your hips lift up. And then before we do our next sequence, let's just come into child's pose. Knees can stay close together or wide apart. Take a few breaths there in child's pose. 2 more breaths. As you exhale, make your way back into downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts to 3-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee to open the hip. Inhale, square the hips. Exhale, bring your right foot next to your right pinky finger. Drop your left knee down. Coming to a half twisted lizard. So get some stretching back with that left knee. Then bring the heel in towards your hip. Reach around with your right hand to maybe find your big toe or the top of your foot or ankle. Turn your body over toward the right while you stretch your left quads. Breathe. You might like to come to the left forearm instead of the left hand and wrist. Breathe a little bit more, just a couple more breaths. Those are big muscles. So even though we're not moving fast into a hard flow class, it's an intense class. It's a strong class because it's hard to stay in a pose that's feeling like this does in my quads, maybe not you. Release the top of that foot. Bring your right hand all the way over to the left edge of the mat. We're going to turn around into the wide-legged standing forward bend. So as I spin my feet around, my right foot's behind because we were in lizard. So make your feet parallel, lengthen your spine, and then drop down into a wide-legged standing forward bend. So taking our attention back to hamstrings, and also in this wide stance, our hip adductors. We don't want to ignore any parts in our practice. Try to balance everything out. 2 more breaths. On an inhale, engage your abdominals, sweep your arms all the way up. As you exhale, hands to hips, turn your right toes toward the front. 3 breaths in Warrior 2. And after our stabilizing, strength building in Warrior 2, we're going to transition into half moon right into sugarcane Shavasana. So you can either do that from standing up on the right leg or putting your right knee down. I'll show the modification first. So if you're going to do the modification, if you're going to do the full sugarcane, you just step forward, you know where to go. I'll show you. But starting, bring the right knee down, right hand down, lift up the left leg and bend the knee. And even if you can't reach the foot, it's still going to stretch your quad. A little more challenging is to do that from our half moon. Hand to preferably a block for me, but not one here at the moment. Open your body, balance, and try to bring your left heel in toward your hip. That may be enough. I'm not going to find my foot from here today. 2 more breaths. So if your right knee down, begin to make your way up. We're all going to re-meet in Warrior 2. Exhale, cartwheel hands over and down. Step back to plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, right into Dhanurasana bow pose. Maybe you find your feet, maybe not. Maybe you have a strap. Stretch your quads. So back bend, that's what we usually focus on here, heart opening back bends. This is a great quad stretch also. 2 more breaths. Releasing. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. On the inhale, left leg lifts to 3-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee to open the hip. Inhale, square the hips. Exhale, right up to the front of the mat with your left foot. Right knee goes down way back, as far back as you can get it. Preparing to twist our lizard. Stretch the quads of the right side. Right knee bends, heel in towards your hip. Left hand maybe finds your foot. Maybe you twist a little more. Breathe. Unless you stretch your quadriceps really regularly, this is going to be intense in the front of your right thigh. So just visualize your breath going there, warming. Let's take 2 more breaths in this intense pose. Releasing your right foot down, lift up the right knees, swing your left hand all the way over, coming back into that wide-legged standing forward bend. Widen out your feet, make them parallel, drop it down. Good release here. Preparing for that one more challenging pose. And we'll cool it down. One more breath in the forward bend. With your strength, on your next inhale, slowly stack vertebra. Reach up toward the ceiling and then exhale, run into warrior 2. Left toes turn forward. Right foot is at that 45-degree angle. Find some strength here. Setting your mind to strength for Chapasana, sugar cane. So if you would like to, from here, just start to bring your left knee to the floor and lift up the right leg. If you want to practice the Ardha Chandrasana first, coming into your half moon. Maybe bending the knee. Maybe you find the top of your foot without a cramp. A lot happening here. Mainly, we just want to focus on stretching the quads. So if it feels better to you to be on your knee, modify there. I can get into my quad better from here because I'm not worrying about balancing. We have 2 more breaths. Push that knee away from you. Bring the heel in towards you a little bit more. And then if you're standing in sugar cane, start to step your right foot back. From the floor, we're going to bring the left foot forward. Everybody returns to warrior 2. One more breath. And then one more vinyasa. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Step back to plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale, lower it down and inhale into bow. We're going to be in bow for a few breaths. So breathe. Two more breaths. As you exhale, lower it down, hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Three breaths. Knees to the mat, child's pose. Really lengthen it out. Child's pose is a forward bend. Relax into the forward bend. Take about 3 more breaths there. And slowly hands slide back towards your knees. Coming into a seated forward bend to stretch out our hamstrings again. Staff pose. Take about 3 breaths in staff. To quieten. Reach up toward the ceiling and on your exhale, right into the forward bend. We're going to be here for a few breaths. Find that first spot of intensity. It may be in the backs of your legs, it may be your low back, it may be somewhere else. Just honor where you are, and as you're ready to, a little more forward, drop down a little heavier. to relax your face. And on the next inhale, slowly stack your vertebra. Slide your hips forward. Roll down to your backs, coming right back up into bridge pose. Strengthening again. Stretching the front of your body. Be careful not to let the legs splay apart. Hug them in toward each other. Those front hip points rise up toward the ceiling. Two more breaths. And slowly lower your bridge down. Pause in neutral spine and tuck your shoulders. 2 breaths. And then the next 3 breaths, moving with your breath. Inhaling to bridge. And exhale, lowering. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, lower once more. And when you exhale all the way down, we're going to bring the legs into the chest, press your low back down, maybe move side to side. Widen out your knees. Happy baby. How far apart will your heels go? Can you bring your knees down toward your armpits a little more? Don't lift your sacrum up. Keep that sacrum pressed down. Just breathe. Bring your legs in together. Release just your right leg. Let that heel slide down the mat. Twisting, taking the left knee over toward the right. Keeping your left shoulder blade grounded on the floor. Two more breaths in this twist. One more. Slowly come out of the twist. Release your left heel. Straighten out the left leg as your right leg hugs in closely. Your left hand is going to guide the right knee over towards your left. Just take that good twist. Stretching your hip abductors now. Feels so good. Just a couple more breaths. Oh, take it a little deeper as you're ready to. And then as you inhale, come out of the twist and release your body into Shavasana. Feel your body weighting heavy down into your mat. Every body part relaxing, releasing. Slow inhales and exhales. Breath smooth and even. yourself be still to rest. One body part at a time, maybe you focus on. Keep your mind quiet. So now with your next inhale, take that full, complete breath. Completely filling up your lungs, exhaling it out completely. One more breath like that. When you complete your exhales, slowly wiggle fingers and toes. Take a bend in your knees, feet to the floor, roll over to your side. Make your way up into a seated meditation pose, easy pose. And then bring your palms together, rub them together briskly to create some warmth, some heat. And just slide that warmth right onto the tops of your thighs, the quadriceps. Grateful for what they do, allowing our knees to bend and extend, giving us strength to stand and to walk. Bring your palms back together at your heart. Feel your heart beating, feel grateful for your physical body. Let your thumbs rise up to your forehead, grateful for your mind, your thoughts. How we can calm it and let it rest in our practice. Let the heels of your hands hover above the